Coach Moore, if you'd like to start us off with a brief opening statement, and then we'll go from there. Thanks.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody for being here. We've had a great time this week. Looked at it as a business trip, and our guys have really taken hold of that. Had a great week of prep. Really excited about the game with a great opponent. I've known Kalen for a very long time. We talked about our days when we were in the MAC, going around Chicago, and I was at Central and he was at Eastern, and I've always had a lot of respect for him and how he runs his program and what he's done. And obviously we faced last year in the national championship, and just tremendous respect for him and how he's built programs and his winning traditions. And but really excited for this game. Our players are excited. It's going to be a great challenge with a great team, great opponent. So ready to kick this thing off.
Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, it's been a good few days down here. Just appreciate everyone in the Tampa area. Got over to Clearwater yesterday, and just all the activities, events that our players have been able to be a part of, the fans as well, and just nothing but great hospitality. And so appreciate ReliaQuest with the sponsorship, and just everyone down here for greeting us from the time we got here until I know the time we leave. So as Coach said, we've known each other for a while, and not a lot of respect for he knows some of the staff, and also just the program there at Michigan in general. And so looking forward to a great game. Our guys really proud of the way that they've gone about their work, going back not just this week but all the way through the month. Just always looking for opportunities to continue to get better individually, collectively as a team, and ready to go out and play tomorrow, and again, great weather down here in Tampa. Looking forward to an exciting game, and be our best.
Terrific. All right, we're going to open to questions. Leo, we'll go with you first. We're going to try and get a mic to folks to make sure that the
both
the
coaches.
audio picks up on the transcript. So, go ahead.
For both coaches and Coach DeBoer first, there's a plethora of sports movies being made today. If they decide to make a movie that you're in, what actor do you want to see play you? Now, Coach DeBoer, I'm thinking Jeff Daniels, not the Dumb and Dumber Jeff Daniels, but the one who's, now in Newsroom. And Coach Moore, Cuba Gooding Jr., that's it. That's a dead giveaway. What do you guys think?
Well, I think you said it. So, yeah, I appreciate the added piece on there with not the Dumb and Dumber part. Yeah, so I think thanks for that. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought that far down the road. I think probably just like Coach, we're just trying to take one day at a time, leading our programs right now, and taking care of our guys. So, love a good sports movie though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that. If I had to put some deep thought, the first person that comes to my mind in any movie would be Denzel Washington, because he's an absolute animal in every movie he's in. So, but just really excited for this game.
Okay. Where we go? Right back here, second row. Just the answer. There you go.
Hey, Kalen. Curious, we've seen a lot of Jalen Mbakwe at wide receiver over the past few days. I'm curious what you've seen from him in practice, but also is it a permanent move to wide receiver? Is he going to play both ways for you guys? What do you expect out of him?
Yeah, for this game, and I think right now where it's transitioning to just with the opportunities there at that position, I think it's something that based on what we've seen here through the first couple, I guess almost 2 weeks now, of him taking reps, he's certainly got the skill set, and really excited about what he can do for us there at that position. He's got the speed. He's had the ball in his hands, all through high school, running the offense there at that level. And then, we've used him, in the punt return game, in the return games. And so, we're just really comfortable with what he can bring to the table. Now it's just learning the position, learning the offense. So I think you'll see us continue to move in this direction with him. He's really been focused on the offensive side really all of our bowl prep. And it was natural, number one, because of numbers, but number two, just because I think of what he can do, from as a football player. And not all guys just naturally move into that role, but he's provided a really good amount of confidence in us, and I think his teammates in this transition here already.
Okay, we got a mic coming right over here. There you go.
For Coach DeBoer, just in the landscape we're in college football with players opting out for bowl games, playing half of the games a player. What does it say about your leaders that they came out right away and most of the captains on the team are playing besides injury with Malachi? What does that say about your group? And did you meet with them, or was that just kind of assumed?
We didn't have a big meeting, but I think the leaders, as you mentioned, I think that's always the key is what's your leadership, and the leaders just understanding, the precedent that's been set here in this program when it comes to bowl games, opting out, and just kind of setting the tone on how important every opportunity when you get to put the Crimson on is. And these guys get that one last chance here this year. And, guys like, I could go on and on, but guys like Tyler Booker, really stepping up, and Milroe as well, and others just, really saying, hey, we get one more chance as a brotherhood, to go on that football field together. We get a chance to be better as football players, and we want to set the program off continue in the right direction going into next year, and leave it at the best possible place that we can. And so they've poured everything into it, all these guys, and just couldn't be more proud of the mindset and how that's trickled throughout the team, and really led us to having some really good practices here all the way through the bowl practice here, even today.
Okay, right here. Raise your hand so that he can find you. Thank you.
Hey, Kalen, do you have an update on Caden Proctor's status for tomorrow?
Yeah, we're expecting him to play. Yep.
Okay, right down here in the front.
For Coach DeBoer, with all the portal activity in December, obviously your roster right now looks a lot more like it will look in spring practice than it did for any regular season game. Does that make the tape from this bowl game more valuable as a self-evaluation tool ahead of spring practice than what you would get in the fall?
From this past fall? Or yeah, I think every guy, it's an opportunity, right? There's some opportunities that some new faces are going to get. Maybe they've had roles, but their roles are upticked a little bit, just as far as the reps they may get. It might be special teams, it might be offense, defense. So I think, this game, the whole purpose, though, is still go out here and go find a way to win, And so that's the priority, and along with it, just because there is movement, as you mentioned, with the portal, new guys are getting upgraded roles, more opportunities, and they're looking forward to taking advantage of it. And again, I think, as you're kind of alluding to, it does help you kind of move forward into spring practice, which will just be right around the corner here before you know it.
So right down here in front.
Yeah, Kalen, chance to get 10 wins with this game. What have you communicated, and what have people told you about what that would mean for that streak with this program?
Yeah, it's something that's really important to the guys. There's no question. They want to keep the streak alive there with 10-win seasons, and we always talk in terms of really trying to even simplify it down beyond that, and just the most important game is the next one, just like the next play is the most important one. And so that's where we're focused, but there is a piece too with the tradition and just everything. You don't do it to put added pressure on yourself. You just make the game what it is, and this is an important game because it's the one that's in front of us. But our players finding those motivational pieces, that is certainly one of them.
Good. In the back there.
Coach Moore, can you talk about the offensive line and who you expect to play tackle in this game? And then there are reports that Juan Castillo might be joining your program again. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, really excited about the guys that are going to play in the game. Evan Link obviously been there, moving over to left. Andrew Sprague, getting his start. I feel really confident about him. He's a guy that's super talented. That we've moved in the game a little bit and played, and then the guys that have played inside are the same guys. So super excited for them, super excited for the opportunity that they have. And Coach Castillo has been a guy I've known for a long time. Obviously been here and been back, so he'll be back helping.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, just a veteran guy that's been in the NFL, that's been in college, and groomed really high quality offensive linemen. Obviously, that's an important position for me. So I want guys that I feel that can help that position as much as possible, and I feel like he can bring a lot to the table.
Question for Coach DeBoer. You mentioned the leadership and the brotherhood going into this game. Is that what you might be most proud of when you look at this group, the 2024 season in the larger context?
Yeah, I think that's something I know I feel going back to January has certainly been just a stabilizing force for our team. There's so much that was happening. I can sit here and talk all day just about this particular area and how important it's been and how proud I am because there were some guys that pretty much put their foot down and said, this is the place that we believe in. They believed in themselves. They chose to stay. And, the ups and downs that came with our season, they just were steady through it and understood that, the task, wasn't going to be easy. Anytime there's, you're a program that's on top, it's hard enough just to stay on top when the continuity is all there. But they took on that challenge, and I couldn't be, again, more proud of just the way they've stuck together, whether it's, the upperclassmen or whether it's sides of the ball. That includes our staff as well, just the way they've continued to stay the course and look at it every day as an opportunity for us to grow our program, continue to build our foundation. But yeah, that brotherhood, that family environment that we really feel strong about, has carried us through a lot, including this last month, just again with the highs and lows of what's come our way.
Right down in front here. There you go.
For Kalen, this isn't any player specific, but just in general, what have your conversations been like with guys who are considering the NFL? And maybe how has your advice to them changed over the last couple of years when they can now come back to school and make money with NIL?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of this has been going on, especially the last month. Position coaches, coordinators, just as much information as we can always give these guys. We want to help them make the best decision that they can. That's the priority, those conversations continue to happen now. I think a lot of the guys have a good feel of where they're leaning, but there's still some decisions that need to be made, and we're here for them. I think they understand that, and of course, our program moving forward is probably better with them if they stay, but that's for each guy to make his choice, and we're going to help them through it in the best we can. And I think most of them here, sooner than later, will have that final decision made. But the conversations do, as you mentioned, they certainly are different now than they maybe were 3, 4, 5 years ago as far as what the opportunities and why you might stay compared to what it was before NIL and so forth.
Right down here in front.
Coach Moore, now that Mikey Keene is signed and you can comment on him, what made him someone you guys targeted in the portal, and how do you expect he'll factor into a quarterback competition in the spring?
Yeah, an experienced guy that's played a lot of football. Really excited about him. We played him in the first game, so we know how tough he is. We know the type of throws he can make. Just heard great things, impeccable things about him as a leader, and really excited him to push that room and give us an experienced guy that we feel that can go win us games, and that was the most important piece of it.
We'll stay in the front here.
Coach Moore, now that you've had basically a month full of preparation for this game, who's do you feel has made the most of their experience in terms of practice, and who do you feel like has really taken their game to the next step?
Yeah, you just look at everybody on the team. I don't think there's a position group that that's overachieved or overseeded. All those guys have really taken the opportunity to get better. You look at from the O-line to the D-line to the DBs, the quarterback, running backs, and all those different positions. Everybody's taken the chance to get better, and they've really invested the time that they've had to get better. And really excited about it. The young players that are going to get to play in the game, the older guys that are playing in the game. So, they're just ready to strap it on for Michigan.
Angelique.
Sherrone, your impressions of Jordan Marshall during practice, and a second question on Evan. He took some heat this season. How do you think he progressed later on in the season, and how confident are you at left tackle with him?
Yeah, first Jordan Marshall, he's a young kid, he's dynamic. We really felt really good about him throughout the year. He had a couple of bumps and bruises and was limited a little bit, and is at full strength now. He's got a chance to be a really special player. So really excited about him. And then Evan's been great. Evan actually, he switched, in fall camp from a position where he naturally was at, and he's done a really good job. Really excited about him. He had really last 2 games played exceptional. Played really good in the last game of the year, and he's just had a really good week of prep or month of prep, and excited for him and what he's going to do.
Over here on the left.
Sherrone, when you bring in a transfer quarterback, what's the message to him about the potential of starting and getting into games?
Yeah, it's open competition. Nobody's promised a starting spot. Everybody's got to earn it, and he really understands that, even with the guys we've brought in. So he's really excited to push the whole room, and he's a guy that's played a lot of football, that has a lot of experience, and made plays at all different levels. And his familiarity with Chip Lindsey was really huge. They had a connection previously, so that helped. But just all the reviews that we got from him as a person, as a player, and then it was huge that we played him this year. We saw him live in action. We saw him make some really good throws and do some really things dynamic. So really ready for him to get going in this program.
Over here on the right.
Hey, Coach DeBoer, final game in your first year as Alabama's head football coach. What does a win mean to you?
Well, yeah, you want to win them all, right? And that's a given. But I think just finishing this year off with a positive would be big for just the direction, for this team to kind of put an end to it, but also to help us just moving forward, in the trajectory. And I think that's what bowl games are in general. But yeah, certainly, after finishing up the first year, it's been a whirlwind of 11 months, but like where we're at with the mindset, like where we're at with how things are coming together, and looking forward to taking those next steps. And I think this bowl game could certainly help in that in moving forward.
We got right down here.
Yeah.
Oh, Joey. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Kalen, just for double clarity, Jalen and all your draft eligible guys, this is their game. They're expected to play the whole game and go the distance if they can, correct?
Yeah, there's been no conversations or anything. I guess I'd be pretty surprised. I think they're here to win, to compete, to put the best product that we can put out there on the football field for 4 quarters and go out there and so I wouldn't expect something like that. But just that's the way these guys are. Jalen, Milroe, as you alluded to, and the other guys, they're going to go out there just like they always have been and give everything they have, and they've shown that in practice. So I wouldn't expect anything different.
Right here on the aisle. Yep.
Yeah, Sherrone, good morning.
Morning.
Last year, you guys were playing in the Rose Bowl in the national championship so late. I know there were the thought that sort of hindered things within the portal and the way there was going to be development, right? I guess this year, how much left do you guys have to do in the portal, and what's your balance been like preparing for obviously another important game here, but still obviously you've been successfully attacking that as well?
Yeah, I think there's always going to be that balance. With the calendar how it is, regardless if you're in the playoff or you're in a bowl game, big time bowl game like this one, then you're going to have some balance, with the recruiting piece. The recruiting piece never stops. It's 365. Even when it's a dead period, people are still calling you, texting you. So it never stops. So for us, it's just been a continuing emphasis on what we have to do and the guys we have to get. There's still a few positions we need to get and we want to get, but ultimately they got to be the best fit for the program. But the main thing right now is trying to go win this game. Huh? It's a mix of different positions for sure. Always want the best guys up front.
Leo?
For both coaches and Coach Moore first, when you're looking at film of the opposition, offense, defense, is there anything similar to teams you played when you look at Alabama or when you look at Michigan?
I mean, for us, you start on offense, and Jalen's special. He's not like any quarterback we've played, or the ability that he has to impact the game with his legs. They've got great playmakers on the outside, a big offensive line. So it's just a different animal. It's a different group. And defensively, again, NFL players everywhere. So we've played some really good teams all year. We played Oregon, we played Texas, we played Ohio State. So similar to those guys and the guys that we played the top competition that we played all year.
Yeah, I think the last part too would certainly apply. Take the most physical teams that we played all season, and that's what you're going to look at when you're getting ready for the game tomorrow. Is both sides of the ball. When it comes to Michigan, just being physical up front. Well, that's across the board, not even just up front, and just the style of play, the mindset that they have spreads not just from the front, not just in the front, but all the way through the back half and the skill positions as well, and just how hard they play, how physical they are. And so take the teams that you've played, each side of the ball maybe has faced different challenges from our end throughout the year, but these guys, certainly present that, at the highest level when it comes to the physicality. And so, they've shown style of play that I think, going back to just the last game here, with a nice win against a playoff team, understand that there's a style of play that you got to be ready for, I think, and in knowing that what they can do to win their football game, and so we got to counter that.
Okay, right here, second row.
Hey, Kalen, do you have an update on Justin Jefferson's eligibility, like a definitive, like if he's coming back next year? Or?
Yeah, I think, I'll let him make the decision, or not the decision, the announcements, but I know he was pretty excited to hear about the opportunity, and so if that can give you an indication of kind of where I think his head's at. Again, we've had the talks and pretty confident that he's excited to continue to play college football, but nothing official has been said, but that was certainly a big announcement there right around Christmas. A good Christmas present for him, a good Christmas present for us, for sure.
Towards the end. Front row.
This is for both coaches. Coach Moore first. You guys had a connection in the portal this offseason with Damon Payne and Justice Haynes. Can you, Coach Moore first, talk about what you saw from them on film, and then Coach DeBoer, talk about what you saw from them, obviously on the field, coaching them this season?
Yeah, I mean, both those, those guys aren't, I can't really comment on those guys right now. So just go from there. Both, great players at Alabama, and but can't really comment on those guys right now.
Tough question.
All the way.
Well, I'm just going to say this. I think I'm always going to wish the guys that are in our program the best, and those are two really good, solid young men. And always going to wish them the best. And I hear the word fit coming from Coach Moore's conversation or talk here, and that's what you always hope, is that the college experience for anyone that you get to coach, you want it to be in your program, you want it to be a lead in your program, but ultimately this time comes and goes really fast. And so I'm always going to wish the guys the best that were part of the year that we had here, or any time I've coached throughout my career.
All the way in the back there.
Sherrone, Max Bredesen, a cornerstone on the offense, a captain. He's here. He said he hasn't made a decision about his future, but can you just speak on the impact his leadership and his play on the field have had in practices so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's the ultimate competitor, ultimate leader, everything you want in a captain and a guy you want on your team. As physical as a player in college football, I would say, and he's everything you want from a leader on your team. So he impacts our team, not just on the field, but off the field in huge ways, and making sure the locker room is aligned in every single way. And, I just can't speak highly enough about that man, about that young man, and just excited for his future and making his determination whatever he does.
Hey, back on the TV stand there.
Hi, back here. Eileen Natchik, News Channel 8 here in Tampa Bay. Question for both of you guys. Just what has your experience been like here in Tampa? What kind of bonding things have you been doing? And just what do you want your guys to get out of this experience?
Yeah, I think, it's a setting where there's, some time for them. The guys don't have to worry about classes. They don't have to worry about these other things. It's just enjoying each other, enjoying the moments that we have. There's been different activities, events hosted by the Bowl that I know they've enjoyed, and the practices and all that. This is what these guys love to do, and being able to just focus on football, and then when you have the free time, focus on the relationships and the friendships that we have, and we're a smaller group now, and just with some guys maybe that aren't with us, that are not with the team. And so, I think these guys really, taken advantage of continuing to build. And the ones that are maybe spending their last days in the program, we've really always tried to highlight them and celebrate what they've brought to this program and what this last game means to them. And every practice being the last one potentially in this last moment here and that last moment there. Tonight will be the last team meeting that we'll ever have as this football team. And so it's just I think cherishing those moments that come along with these type of situations.
Yeah, it's been an awesome experience. The bowl game has provided a great opportunity for our players to just, sit back sometimes and get some time off their feet and relax, but also get some time and do different things as a team. Going to Busch Gardens, guys riding roller coasters, doing different things, feeding giraffes and animals. They really honed into that and really loved that, and spending time with each other. When there isn't football around, but when there's time to do football, they're really excited about that. And just like Kalen said, not having class at the same time, they can really study the game even deeper. And those guys love to do that. They love to embrace the opportunity to get better, especially with film study. And, just time when you get a team meal and guys are sitting down and just talking and just, talking about nothing, talking about random things and talking about life. I think it's cool to get that opportunity as a coach, but also our assistant coaches to be able to sit down with their players and just have that time and not have those time restrictions of different things that they can do. So it's been a great opportunity for our players and our staff to get out here and enjoy this. And obviously coming from Michigan, we left the day before we left. It was like 19 degrees. So 66 and 70 feels really good to us. So we love this weather. Has been great for us. And just continue to embrace these moments with our players.
Just a couple more questions in the back here.
Yeah, for Sherrone, Steve Casula alluded to this earlier this week, that Michigan's offense is always going to be Michigan's offense, but what you do specifically is always going to be dictated by specific personnel. With so many new faces in the mix, whether it's Steve or Chip Lindsey popping in here and there, different players. Does that allow you to do anything a little bit different this week? Maybe a more individualized approach that sets you up for maybe something a little different or more success this week, or maybe later on down the line that can be beneficial?
Yeah, I think the best thing about offense is just if you want to have a really good offense, you got to tell a story and what you do and how you do it, and you got to get the best players the ball and the best players involved, and do the things that our players are really good at. So at the end of the day, that's what we're going to try to do this week in this game, and not try to do too crazy and be out of the box, but we'll have specific things that we have for the game. And when you're attacking this defense is difficult to deal with, and you got to have a plan for different things that they do. And for us, it's going to be about getting the best players of football and making sure that they can impact the game and controlling the clock.
One last question here, Leo.
For both coaches, and Coach DeBoer, you first. You were both in the college football playoff last year. If you can't be in it, is there a better place to tee it up than Tampa, Florida on New Year's Eve at the ReliaQuest Bowl?
Talking about the movies we're going to be in someday too. Yeah, no, it's been a great, excited to be here when, we found out we got the opportunity, and it's lived up to everything that I'd hoped.
Yeah, it's been a great experience for us, the staff, the players, and wouldn't want to be at any place besides the playoff. This has been a great opportunity for us as players, as staff, to continue to bond and build that camaraderie and to get better and to feel really good about it, and just excited for the game.